Does God really exist, or is he simply a product of human imagination? I'm Joel, and welcome to Revealer Media, a podcast that explores some of life's hardest and most important questions. When we look honestly at the pain and suffering in the world, a difficult question naturally arises. If there is a loving and all-powerful God, why does he allow so much suffering? For many people, this problem is reason enough to reject the idea of God altogether. Others conclude that if God does exist, he must be indifferent, or worse, that he delights in human suffering. So does God exist? And if he does, what is he really like? I've spent a long time thinking about and researching this question, and the answer may surprise you. In fact, I would contend that the very fact that there is evil in this world proves that there must be good. Confused? Let me explain. When you hear about something truly horrific, like the murder of an innocent child, you don't simply see it as unfortunate or inconvenient. You feel moral outrage. You know that this is wrong. That response suggests that we all share an internal moral compass, a sense of right and wrong that goes beyond personal preference or social conditioning. But where does that moral compass come from? If there is no God and humanity is the result of a blind evolutionary accident, why should anyone care if another person suffers or accidentally dies? From a purely evolutionary standpoint, wouldn't fewer people simply mean less competition for resources? Why then do we admire firefighters and paramedics and rescuers who willingly risk their lives for strangers? From a strict natural selection perspective, saving others actually works against the survival of the fittest. And yet we instinctively know that such thinking is deeply wrong. That reaction points to something profound. It shows that human beings have an internal moral code that seems to transcend biology and survival instincts. I would argue that this moral awareness is best explained by the idea that humanity was created by a higher power who values love, compassion, and self-sacrifice. Societies that build themselves on these moral principles tend to be more stable, more just, and more humane. But this still leaves an important question. If there really is a loving God who desires his creatures to flourish, why is there so much suffering? Has God lost control of his creation? There is only one explanation to this dilemma that makes sense to me, and that is found in the Christian Bible. It describes reality as a cosmic struggle known as the Great Controversy, an ongoing conflict between good and evil. In this view, God is not the author of suffering. Rather, suffering exists because a real opposing force actively resists God's purposes and seeks to undermine truth, love, and freedom. According to the Bible, humanity is caught in the middle of this great controversy. God, on one hand, invites people to align themselves with what is good, life-giving, and true, while the force of evil works through deception and destruction. How did evil come into existence? Well, that will be a topic for another video. But in the meantime, I would like you to take some time to think about this mysterious moral code that is in all of us. Where does it come from? And are you following it? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.